Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching from. Today is my first time of going live. I just wanted to go live today to complete the episode I started around, talking about around marriage, where we're talking about the principles of marriage, following the letter A to Z. I don't know if some persons have joined me. Can you hear me? All right. So if you can hear me, just let me see. All right. Yeah. So we would use this live to complete what we started last time. I stopped at M, and I remember I said M for women is meekness. Men love women who are meek, who are humble, who are teachable. Of course, they are open to corrections. They don't see themselves as being as as people that know it all. They're willing to learn. And I said the M for the men is money. Of course, every human being loves money, including women. And of course, every woman also want to experience that. You know what I mean? Want to experience that soft life. Yeah, everybody wants to enjoy that soft life. So, like I said, the M is for women, for money rather, for money. So, of course, women love men that have money, and I said even men love men that have money because money is important, right? And I remember I said there is no romance without finance. Finance is very, very important. So when I see people say, women love money, my mind is that, what do you want them to like? Should they like paper? Of course, they should like money. What are you saying? They should like money. So when I hear people say women love money, I was like, man, even me that I'm a guy, I love money because money is important. We cannot overestimate or underestimate the place of money. Money is really important. It's a critical tool in a marriage. The only challenge is sometimes a lot of people, all they think about is just money. That is where you have that is when it becomes a little bit challenging. Other than that, of course, money is important. So I said for the men, women love men that have money. That is why it's important that you make money. But generally, right? You see, one of the reasons why we see marriage as something that is very challenging and difficult these days is because people do not pay attention or commit to learning in marriage. You see, if people can learn marital principles, as in if they can invest time, commit to knowledge, the same way we commit to our career, we commit to things that we hold dearly. If people will invest in their marriages like that, it will become easier for them. But the challenge these days is that people are not committed to learning marital principles. So people just get into marriage based on feeling and they just assume that things would work. But I think that it is important that both, you know, the couple, the husband and the wife should be committed to learning. Even the Bible says good understanding brings favor. When you commit to learning and you learn some of these principles that we're talking about, and you don't just hear them, you intentionally put them to work. You intentionally put them to work, it will work for you. But a lot of people do not learn anymore. We don't pay attention to learning all these things about marriage. We just assume. Just imagine you commit X number of years to become maybe a chartered accountant, to become a doctor, to become a lawyer, to become a nurse, to become an IT professional. You spend a lot of time in your career learning. But when it comes to marriage, for some reason, we'll think that marriage will just do itself. But I think there is a place of learning. So we should be intentional about, I've mentioned the word intentional. My wife says to me that my wife told me that my best language is intentional, intentionality. Yeah, I believe to be intentional is critical, right? To be honestly, so we should take learning very seriously. Even when it comes to marriage. So today we'll continue talking about those principles of marriage as it follows the alphabet. Like I said, we stop at M, and I said M is for meekness for women and money for men. Today we're going to go into N. The end, I would say that men also love for women now is nourish. Nourish. You see, every man loves a good food. They love good food. Men want to eat good food. And I also understand that men also cook. And this is not to say that men shouldn't cook. I cook, sometimes I cook at my house, I cook in my home, or I cook at home. But usually ladies, people see that ladies should do more of the cooking because the woman is the mother of the home. You're the woman of the home. You should, even if you don't know how to cook, your willingness to learn how to cook because you have to be intentional about nourishing your man. You nourish your man, you nourish your children. And the way to do that is that you cook for them. And cooking, is not just about you just cooking. It is the intentionality and the connection that cooking brings. That you're telling this man that you are important to me, and your well-being and your nourishment is also important to me. So beyond the cooking, beyond the physical getting in the kitchen and just cooking, it is what you are passing across. You're telling the man that your nourishment is important to me. And outside cooking is emotional nourishment, even his spiritual nourishment matters. Hmm? So N is for nourish. You have to be intentional about, I'm using the word intentional again. But the point I'm trying to make is that nourish the man in his body, in his spirit, and in his soul. All right? Men love to be nourished in all these areas. So, and as a woman, if you can do that for the man, it also tells the man that you value him and you take him seriously. And the end for the women now that the men should pay attention to is the non-sexual touch. Non-sexual touch. Most times when men touch women, it ends up, where it ends up in the other room. But what we're saying is that as a man, learn how you touch your woman, without necessarily ending in the other room. Non-sexual touch. Hug her, hug her tight, rub her back, rub her feet. Give her massage without waiting for a happy ending. You know what I mean? What I mean is just, be used to giving your wife a non-sexual touch. It is not every time you touch your wife that it must end into you know what I mean? It doesn't have to end in the other room. It's a way of telling her thank you. It's a way of also telling that you're important to me. I know most times when men touch, men are not used to giving non-sexual touch. Each time we touch, you want to go all the way. But intentionally, most times, during the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, learn to touch her, learn to hold her, learn to spank her, learn to cuddle her without necessarily, ending in the other. And what happens many of the times is, even if it doesn't, even if it doesn't end in the other room, you will have win her hearts. You will win her hearts. All right. So that is one of the things we should pay attention to. All right. Can you hear me? Okay. Hmm. Just want to check if. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So we should learn to, as men, give our wives or our women that non-sexual touch. And let me go to the letter O. O for men is ovation. Ovation. Learn to celebrate your man. Men love to be celebrated. Now, they don't have to come home with a Grammy award before you celebrate them. Those they are little wins, those little things that when they come, every man wants to be celebrated. A man has a king side and a foolish side in him. It is the side that you how will I call it, that you celebrate, that comes up. You can celebrate the king side of a man, you will see the king side. Then if you decide to bring out the foolishness in him, you also get the foolishness in him. All right? So every man has a king in him, and every man has that foolishness in him. It is your job as the woman to give him that ovation, that you are always celebrating him. Be intentional about celebrating your man. Give him that ovation. Not when he comes home as a Grammy Award winner. Be just I think I have to change this my intentional, using the word intentional every time. My wife keeps saying that I like to use, how do we there be a video that will not use intentional? But I think life is really about intentionality. Yeah, yeah. I think it's about it. So as women, men loves women, or loves a woman that is able to give them that ovation. You're able to praise them. You're able to celebrate the king in that man. You look at him and you tell him that you matter. There is a king in you. I know you can do this. You have done this before. You can do this again. Don't talk down on him. Don't let him feel less than a man. Celebrate the king in your man. Celebrate the king in your man. All right? Celebrate the king in him. Bring out the best in him, because when you celebrate your man, the best in him comes alive. The best in him will come alive. As you celebrate him, the best in him comes alive. And the O for the women to the men now is open and honest. Women love men that are open and are honest. Because she's not your younger sister. She can handle the truth. Communicate with your wife. Tell her everything. I don't know why. Why are you keeping secrets? Share your fears and your victories with your wife. Yes, share your fears and your victories with her. She's not your younger sister, and you think maybe she cannot handle this thing. She's your partner, for God's sake. She's your partner. She's your partner, and God has sent her to your life to help you. She's there to help you. She's your helpmate. So be open to her. Don't let her find out things about you from outsiders. She is on your team. She's by your side. Be ready to share those secrets with your wife. We've heard stories where some men, for some reason, they pass on, and their wives and kids, they just got into serious trouble, into suffering, because the man was hiding everything, hiding password to finances. The man had shares, had property, but because he wasn't open to the wife and the family, they were not aware of those properties. And the man passed on, and the family started suffering. That is why it is important that you are open. You are open to your wife. She needs to know everything. Why are you hiding those accounts? Why are you hiding your money? Why are you hiding your properties? Why are you hiding your shares, your stocks? You don't know what can happen tomorrow. Because a lot of men, you pass on and you leave the woman suffering. Be open, because each time you are open to them, you are building trust. Why secrecy breeds suspicion, openness builds trust. The more you open to your partner, the more she is able to trust you. Every woman wants a man who is open to them. You are open, and everything about you they know. Don't let them hear stuff about you from outsiders. Even the Bible says both of them were naked before each other, and they were not ashamed. Why are you hiding stuff? Be open and honest with your wife. That is what the O means to the man. Women love men that are open. No secrets. No secrets. Not that your password, we have password to password. And the P is prayer. Letter P, prayer. Prayer. Now, you see, some of these principles, like I said, they are for both. They are for both. Just that we are saying that this, maybe the man should do more of this, but ideally, it's actually for both. Like I said, prayer. You see, marriage is more than love. Marriage is more than love. Marriage has the spiritual side of it. And that is why prayer is very, very important. You have to pray over your spouse, you pray over your children, you pray about your dream, your aspiration, your vision. Prayer is important. Men love women who are prayerful. This is not to say men shouldn't pray. Like I said in my last video, I said I believe that as the man of the house, you should be um, the spiritual leader in your own home. You should be in charge spiritually. So don't tell me that only the women should pray. But I'm also saying that even as a praying man or as a prayerful man, they love a wife that can also pray, a wife that can also stand in the gap, that you are sure that if I get into trouble or if I am in any challenge, I am sure my wife can stand in the gap for me, that my wife can pray for me. So men love a praying wife, a woman that is prayerful. That I know that when I have this dream, when I have something I want to do, I can tell her and she can join me in prayer. I know that she's not struggling to pray. Because when you are a praying wife, a praying woman, and even a praying man, what you're doing is you're inviting God into your home. So prayer is very, very important. So the P is prayer. So I'm saying that men love women that pray, a prayerful woman. Without prayer, you're trying to build on a shaky ground. It is prayer that solidifies your marriage. Prayer is key, prayer is important. Prayer, marriage is spiritual, hence prayer is very, very important. Now, the P for the man is participation. Participation. Women love men that participate. You spend your time. No woman wants an absentee husband. No, they want husbands that participate, that you are ready to commit and invest your time in the family. I made a video sometimes ago and I said, children spell love as time. They want your presence. It's not just about you providing alone. They need to be sure that you are available. You are investing your time in the home. You participate. You participate. You are part of the process. You don't just come. Let's say you just come and just maybe just buy things and no. Be involved. Be involved in your children's life. Pick them from school when you have the time. Attend their sporting events. Attend parent teachers association. Go to their class. Go to their school. Be intentional. Be part of the process. Participate with them. I've come to realize that children are not really, they don't really care much about those gifts. It's fine, they love gifts, right? But what will really stand test of time is that time that you spend with them. Are you investing time, spending time deliberately with your kids, with your family? Spending time with your family, with your wife, with your children. And I mean, quality time is important. We cannot overemphasize this truth that you spend time. Spend time with your family. Share the load with your wife. Don't let your wife alone do everything. Don't let her do everything. Be involved. Don't think once you drop money, that is the end. No. Participate. Be part of it. Be part of the process. Look at your children's schoolwork, Talk to your wife. Spend quality time to understand what they're actually going through. All right? And the next letter will be Q. Q is quiet. Quiet. There are times where your spouse just wants to enjoy that quiet moment. There are some times where the man doesn't want to answer a lot of questions. He just want to just be alone. It doesn't mean that something is wrong. He just want to enjoy that quiet moment. You don't have to panic to say, he's not talking to me. Maybe a lot of things is going on in his mind. He just needs that quietness to process things. And even your wife sometimes too, want that quietness. They just want to just stay quiet. And that's not the time to start nagging. That's not the time to start pushing. When you see that they're in that space, let them be. Because sometimes you see quietness actually heals more than words can do. Sometimes when you're quiet, you're in touch with yourself, and you're able to certain healing would happen in that space. It doesn't mean that something is broken. It doesn't mean that you guys are quarreling, but you guys just want to enjoy that quietness. Be quiet, that quiet space. Right? And the cue for women to men now is quality time. Quality time. Men. It's the same thing with participation, but this is quality time with your wife. Women enjoy time alone with their husband. And I'm not saying where both of you are in the same room and this one is on the phone, this one is on the computer. I mean, without devices, that both of you decide to spend time together, you listen to one another. Like you can plan date night. I think for this date night, it's something I really want to try even and improve in my own, or do more of it in my own relationship with my wife. I want to plan more date night, because sometimes you see we are so busy, we are so involved in so many activities that we don't have time. You can take your wife out for coffee. That is not expensive. You can go, because sometimes it's not about the money that you're spending in those getaway. It's about the time that both of you are spending together. That just the two of you are alone. You have the time to talk. You have the time to deliberate without distraction. So what do you need to do? Find time to spend quality time with your wife. The woman needs to know that you can drop everything for her and spend time with her. Quality time. Spend quality time. Quality time with your partner, with your wife. And let's go to letter R. So the letter R for women to men is respect. You see, respect is a man's oxygen. Men love respect, no matter how small that man is, no matter how poor he is. In fact, one of the language that men understand universally is respect. 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 When you want to correct him or you want him to do something, don't shout at him. There's a way you can correct him in honor. There are some things you do to a man, the man would say you are disrespecting him. You know why? Because of the way you're going about it. You have the best of intention, right? But your delivery is just off. Respect is important to man, and you just have to know that. This is not about to say because maybe we are equal. See, I'm not saying that. We also know that you as a woman too, you need respect too, right? But when you disrespect a man, he kind of hits differently. When you disrespect a man, you kind of crush his ego, because respect builds the man's confidence, and disrespect crushes his ego, crushes his confidence. So respect is key for man. So wives, please respect your husband. Even if you want to correct him, there is a way you can correct him in with honor. There's a way you can correct him with respect. Don't shout him down. Don't, even though you maybe it's possible you're the breadwinner in that home. It's possible you are the you are the smartest. It's possible you're the richest. It's possible that from all indication, you are holding all the cards. But so long you see him as your husband, please respect him. Please respect him. And he's not going to cost you anything, especially he's not going to really take anything from you. It doesn't reduce you. Respect him. Respect is important for men, just as out for women is romance. Romance. Women love men who are romantic. And the way Pastor Kingsley defined romance is that he said doing the usual things, but in an unusual way. It's the same thing that you will do, but you do it with you do it with swag. The same gift you buy for your wife, but you add some thoughtfulness to it. You just add some plan to it. And I remember I gave one example of want to buy your wife a perfume. You can buy a perf for your wife and just drop it on the table. Keiko, this is the perf I've bought for you. But that same perf, there's a way you can bring in a lot of paparazzi, a lot of romance into that same perf, and you will have delivered that perf in such a way that, in a romantically way, that your wife will be gingered, if I can use that word. There's a way you bring romance to the usual everyday things. Just process it a little bit and say, as in, bring an element of surprise. Don't let her just figure out everything. Even if you want to buy a gift, but you can bring in some little bit of spice into it. Women love men that are romantic. Sometimes you just go pick her up from work and take her for a lunch date. Sometimes just go to our office and just pick her up. Some little things. Sometimes just plan some weekend getaway. Just little things that you just pay attention to. Not only when it is Valentine or during your anniversary. That's when you want to do one big paparazzi. You can actually bring romance to every day of your life. It's about doing the same thing, but in a special way. Maybe sometimes just give her what they call breakfast in bed. You can write notes for her, just sweet notes. Sweet note, sweet note of, remember those days, how you met her, all those sweet things you used to say to her. Hmm? Romance, that is doing the usual things, but not doing it, adding a little bit of thought into it, a little bit of planning into it. Because, see, romance is not just about money, it's the thoughts that count, the thoughtfulness. You have to keep the romance of your marriage alive. Because if there's no romance in your marriage, it now begins to feel like duty. It begins to feel like work. And trust me, if it's like work, there is no delight in it. If you're feeling it like work, it's more difficult when it's like work. All right? So bring romance, especially as the man, lead this area. Bring romance into your marriage. So keep your marriage alive. Be romantic. And you can learn these things. Nobody brings it from heaven. You can learn it. That's why I said when people are committed to learning, you can learn it. Nothing. Don't say that it's my nature. I'm not romantic. It's my nature. No, nobody's nature. There's nobody that brought romance from heaven. We are all learning. We are all learning. What we are saying is that what you will have done normally, can you bring in some bit of thought into it? Some element of surprise. Not just say, come and go chop now, come and go buy suya for you. But you see, you can bring in some thoughtfulness, some romantical gesture, some element of surprise, that will blow the woman away. Romance is important. It brings life into your relationship. And we go to S is for sex. I think I'm going to do a separate video that talks about sex. Sex is important in marriage. And of course, you know by now that husbands can never have too much of it. Men, let me just say maybe 90% of men, they are happy to have this morning, afternoon, evening, night. It is important to man. And the way I say it is that if you feed him with a lot of sex, he will not have time for junk food outside. That you feed him, he has enough. He will not. He will be. You will have exhausted him that he will not even have time to go and look outside. As a woman, see sex as ministering to your husband. See it as ministry. And of course, the man also, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Try as much as possible to be committed to the process. That the woman too, you are delivering a pulling unit as much as possible. But above all, a healthy, sexy life, a healthy sex life will give you healthy marriage. Healthy marriage will always bring about a healthy sex life, or a healthy sex life will give you healthy sex or healthy marriage, right? Yeah, but I think you get a point. That sex is very, very important, and it is super important to the man. It's also important to the women, but yeah, but I just know that for the men, they want to, they can, of course there's some women that also that has that level, but I think mostly men are really, they can, they can never have more than, they can never have too much of it. They are ready every time. And the S for the women is security. Security. Every woman want to feel secure. They want to be sure of their safety. And this is not just physically. They want to be sure that they are protected emotionally, spiritually, financially, and in all areas of their life. And it is your job as the man to make sure that your woman, your wife, feels secure and protected. This is important because when you show that to the woman, it tells her about your consistency, about your faithfulness, and that you are also dependable. Yes, your wife want to feel secured. So they need that security. They want to feel protected. They want to feel protected. They want to have that peace of mind. They want to know that, my man is faithful. My man is dependable. They need that certainty from you. They need that certainty from you. So security is important in all wise, financially, emotionally, physically, in all areas. You should be able to secure your woman. And the next letter T is for trust. 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 Your man need to be able to trust you as a woman. Trust. And of course, you would agree with me that trust is the foundation of every marriage. Trust is the foundation of every marriage. Trust. Trust. Both of you as spouse should be able to trust each other. Trust each other with your password. Trust each other with your secret code. Trust, trust. And of course, you need to know that trust can easily be broken, but it takes time to build trust. It's hard to build trust and can easily be broken. That is why you have to be careful. But trust is the foundation of marriage. Trust is important. Trust. Trust. And the other trust is transparency. Transparency. What secret does to a marriage is that it destroys marriage. Keeping secret from each other has the capacity to destroy your marriage. So women love men that are transparent. Like I said earlier on, a lot of women, they became stranded when their husband passed on because their husband was keeping secrets. kept secret of bank accounts, kept secret of investment. Your wife don't know your investment. Your wife don't know about your businesses because you are not transparent. As men or as husband, please be transparent with your wife. Share your plans with them, or maybe share your password. Like for instance, I share. My wife knows my password. She knows all my password. I don't have anything to hide. She knows my password. Not that something will happen now. Nobody can access. Nobody can access your phone. Your password has a password. Women love men who are transparent, who are open. Transparency in marriage is super, super important. And the U is unity. Unity. You see, even the Bible says two are better than one. Unity is important because you see, when the man and the woman, when you agree in prayer, things happen faster. And I've observed this in my life over and over again, that many a times when myself and my wife, when we agree on something, things move faster. Because you know why? God blesses unity. God blesses unity. Both of you must always be seen to agree in public, even if for any reason you have some disagreement, but let it be in private. At every point in time, you must be seen as a single unit. Both of you are united. And this is why we say the mathematics in the kingdom, and of course, you know that all I've been saying is the perspective of a kingdom marriage, right? The perspective in the kingdom is that 1 plus 1 is 1 in marriage. And the two of them becomes one. So unity is key. The man should be able to know that my wife is in unity with me. The same for the woman. Because when two of you are united, your prayers are answered faster. Could it be the reason why you see the thing you've been believing God for? Could it be because you guys are not united? Can both of you work on your unity and check really, are you guys really united? Are your values united? Are your faith united? Unity is important because a united marriage or relationship is always blessed by God. Unity is very, very, very important. And the next U is understanding. Brothers, women love men who understands them. Understanding that you are not just hearing your wife, but you understand her. You feel her, you empathize with her. That when she's talking, you are not just, you know how sometimes you hear some things will enter here, they will enter the right and go out to the left. But you understand her pains. When she tells you she's tired, you empathize with her. You tell her you understand. Can you take some break? Because many a times the woman is also carrying some invisible load. So it doesn't mean it's possible she has not gone to farm. Some of you will say, where did you go to that you're feeling tired? There are so many invisible load that they are carrying that they need your support. That they need to know that you understand what they are going through. That you need to be patient with them. You need to be gentle. Understanding for women is big. They need to be sure that you, as their husband, you understand them. Understanding is critical. So seek to understand your wife, not just to respond. Understand her. Be gentle. Be patient with her. Understanding. When a woman knows that you understand her, she's able to open up and even tell you more things. And V, the letter V is virtues. Virtuous. Virtuous. Even the Bible says the virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. A virtuous woman. A virtuous woman. Wives, or my sisters, men love virtuous women. It means that you are industrious. You are God fearing. It means that you bring value. You add value to the man. I think I was talking to one of my friends recently, and we are saying that um, a lot of young single guys, they are finding it difficult to settle down. A lot of them just, they touch this girl, they drop, they touch this girl, they drop. I live in Australia, especially some Australia singles. This is not this is not to cast you guys, but and I said to him, I said, one of the reasons why a lot of guys will date a girl, hmm, and maybe it may not be 100% correct, but most times, if the man can see value, I don't think he will run away because there is nobody that will see value in something. I want to leave it. No, no. When you know that there is value in this thing, no, you're not leaving. You remember that parable that Jesus said? He said, it's like the kingdom of God is like a man that he discovered treasure in a particular piece of land. You know what he did? He went and sell everything he owned to buy and or to purchase that land. Because why? There is treasure in that land. The same thing with a woman. When you find a virtuous woman, nobody wants to leave a virtuous woman. A woman that is God fearing, a woman that is industrious, a woman that you know adds value to life. Because when that woman comes into your life, things begin to take shape. Things begin to take shape. Like I tell people, right? The single guy, like now, of course, I'm a married guy. It looks like, this guy is flexing. But you need to see me some 15 years ago when I was as tiny as this. But I married my wife and she brought a lot of value to my life. But the question is, why did I marry her in the first place? I saw value. She was a virtuous woman. She still is. I saw value in her. I know that a lot of guys, a lot of boys still they want to play games. But trust me, if you make yourself a woman of value, a virtuous woman, I know some of them are still blind, some of them might not still see. But many a times, if you are a woman of value, you are industrious, you are God fearing, you know who you are, it will be hard for anybody to leave you. I'm telling you, it will be very, very hard. Because everybody, nobody, like they will say, nobody no like better thing. If you are bringing value, you're adding value to the man. Why will he leave you? Leave you to where now? To who now? The Bible says that a virtuous woman is like a crown to the man. It means that the man will put you on his head and be showing it because you don't hide crown. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. Where do they put crown? Crown. They put it on the head. So as a woman, you focus on becoming a virtuous woman, a woman of value to the man. If you are a person of value, it will be hard for any man to leave you. Then the V for men is visionary, vision. Vision. Every woman wants a man with a vision. Wants a man with a vision. This is so important. Sometimes people just, you just go around, even you yourself, your vision is not clear to you. And this is a risk. It is a risk. Even you yourself as the man, your own vision is not clear to you, and you want to carry somebody on that journey. Women love men that have clear vision. I remember those days, when we're still, still single those days when guys would just be telling you, I have future. I have future. See, having vision is not just saying that you have future. It is showing pattern. It's beyond just saying that you're showing pattern, that the way you are living your life, that the things you put value to reflect that this guy really is a person of vision. That they will not meet you in certain places because of your vision and your value. That's what we're talking about. So women love men that have clear vision. Vision is key. Vision is important. You have to be visionary. Vision is not about money now. It's not about money. It's about knowing where you are going first and where you are taking your family to. So my question or my challenge to you as a man is, what is your vision financially? What is your vision spiritually? Even emotionally, do you have a vision? You see, when a woman trusts the vision of the husband, she's ready to go anywhere with him. She will go anywhere with him because it is the man's vision that gives the marriage direction. When you have vision, your woman or your wife, she's ready to go anywhere with you. And you remember, the woman is the helpmate. So if you don't have a vision, what is she coming to help you with? Or if your vision is so tiny that you don't need help in the first place. You see why vision is important? So as the man, you are the visionary of your home. You are the visionary, you are the vision carrier. So when you don't have vision, what do you need somebody to come and actually help you with? What vision do you have financially? Or you're just doing anywhere belay face, you're just doing trial by error. What vision? What vision do you have? What vision have you written down in your finance, in your career, in all things that have to do with your life, in your family? What vision do you have for your family? Remember, when your wife believes in your vision, she will follow you anywhere. She will give her all you just need to do, sell the vision to her. If you can sell the vision to her, you will be surprised. If you can sell the vision to her, she would help you with a vision. She will help you to chase and achieve that vision. But you need to have a vision, guys. You need to have a vision for yourself, a vision for your family, a vision for your finance, a vision spiritually, a vision for all areas of your life. And we go to letter W. W is for wise woman. Wise woman. Every man likes a woman that is wise because wisdom builds the home. Wisdom is knowing when to speak, and wisdom is knowing when to be silent as a woman. Like I said, this also ties into virtuous woman. If you're a woman of wisdom, man, you will not remain single for long. Wisdom is important. Wisdom is knowing what to do. And when you are a woman of wisdom, your husband will know that, this thing I'm going through, when I share with my wife, because I know she has wisdom, she knows what to tell me. There are some counsel that my wife said to me. Sometimes it's not that it's going to be a formal meeting, but there are some things she say. I know that this girl wise. I would concur. No, we don't have to do a formal meeting, but there are certain things that she just say sometimes in passing, or she just say it that I'll say, man, wisdom has spoken. Then I'll just go and implement. You see, so every man wants a woman that is wise, a wise woman. A wise woman is an addition to the man. A wise woman who can find. So when you find one, you you nurture them, you look after them, you take proper care of them. Because wise women are not easy to come by. So as a woman, are you a wise woman that you know when to shout and you know when to keep quiet? You know how to select your battles. You know when to be quiet, you know when to be silent, and you know when to speak. And the W for men is working man. Working man. You see, every woman loves a hard working man. Nobody wants a lazy man. So guys, if you're lazy, wake up. Wake up. Stop being lazy. Women don't like people that are lazy. You have to be hardworking. You can't sleep all day. You can't just say, no, no, no. Because work is dignity, work is provision, work is leadership. A working man may not be rich. I'm not talking about money here. We are saying that a man that is diligent, a man that is hardworking, a man that is responsible, that you will not allow your wife to carry the whole load. So, men, you will just relax. You allow your wife to carry the whole load. You are not even contributing. You're not contributing. Remember, the woman is meant to come and help you. Women love men who are hardworking, men who are diligent, not a lazy man. I mean, W for working man. You are working. You are working with your hands. You are doing something. You are actively involved in doing something. That you don't just relax and leave your wife to do everything. That you are bringing your whole, you are bringing your 100%. That the woman know that even though you don't have money, but the woman know that, man, my God, they try. My God, they try. That this guy, they try. That it's possible this guy doesn't have all the money now, but I know the way it's going because of the pattern and the consistency he has shown. The guy goes so hammer. Because when you are diligent, it's a matter of time. The result will show. You can't just sit somewhere and be saying that nobody is helping you, nobody gives you job, nobody is doing this. My friend, get up and start working because women love a hard-working man, a working man, a man that takes responsibility. All right. And the next letter X is or you call it Ox. Is the X, we call it X factor. X factor. The X factor. So I would say, you see that quality that your spouse saw in you that made them fall in the first place. Don't lose it. That quality that you had that made your wife or your husband fell in love with you, do not lose it. Your uniqueness, your strength, that aura that you have that made them choose you in the first place, make sure you do not lose it. Keep it in thought. You know, some men before they got married, they were very jovial, very playful with their partner. But as soon as they got married, they changed. And I remember this joke many years ago. Where let me see if I can still remember the joke. It was the case where when this brother and sister, when they were dating, when they were dating, the guy now, he used to help the fiancée or the wife to be. He used to help her to kind of press her clothes, do her laundry, iron her clothes. He's going to do everything and everything. This gist was actually in Yoruba. So they used to do everything while they were cutting. But as soon as they got married, a few months into the marriage, the guy just stopped doing all of that. The wife was like, but honey, you used to help me do all these things before. You know what the guy said? That was before. That was before. They said this in Yoruba, like, tell any here, tell any here. In other words, you know, before when they were cutting, when they were still in that boyfriend or girlfriend relationship, the guy was doing everything. But as soon as he kind of, like, some people will say things like, do you still campaign after elections? But it shouldn't be like that in marriage. Don't it will not come across like you deceived them into marrying them. The things that you were doing before you got married or you were continue doing them. For me, for instance, before I got married, we were big on communication, and we still do. We're big on communication, and we still do. That at the very minimum, when I'm going to work, when my wife is going to work, when we get to the office or get to where we're going to, we always say, "Okay, well, babes, I'm there. Oh, I'm leaving." We are always even if we are not calling, we are texting. We are always communicating. One person I'm sure that if I, sometimes, in those days when I used to do long drives, right? One person I'm sure that when I call will pick will be my wife. Always, I'm sure, except maybe she's where she cannot pick her phone or anything. Sometimes you have this long drive that you would call number one friend, number two friend, number three friend. None of them is speaking, maybe because they are busy. But I am 99% sure that my wife will pick my call. And we've built these over years that our communication is strong. We're always communicating. That my wife knows where I am part time. So that X factor, that your uniqueness, that's your power, that your strength you had before you finally got married, do not lose it. Keep your uniqueness. Keep it going. Keep it going. Don't get into marriage and you say, now I'm married. The same thing with women. A lot of women, before you got married, you know how you used to look very sexy, you dress really well, you dress cool. But as soon as you get into marriage, you should just relax. And you lose all your X factor. No, it shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't be like that. Shouldn't. That X factor that made them choose you in the first place, please keep it. And why is for yield. 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 Now, you see, when we say that men love men that is able to yield, now we're not saying that the woman is lesser. We're only saying that because we need a leader in this your marriage. And ideally, the man should be the leader. And the fact that you yield to the man doesn't make you less. It's just because we need to have things in order. Yielding doesn't mean silence. It doesn't mean that you are a lesser human being. It doesn't mean that your opinion don't count. It's just for the sake of order. Just for the sake of order. Even when you don't fully agree, just yield. But also, men, do not abuse submission. When the woman submits, do not abuse it. Don't abuse submission. Lead with love and not, don't dominate anybody. It's not your job to dominate your wife. It is not your job. It is not your job that you just you dominate her. It is your duty as the man to lead with the fear of God, to lead with love, and to lead her even as Christ leads the church. So the reason why the woman yields is not because she's subservient to you or because she is inferior to you. It's just for the sake of order. For the sake of order. And of course, by now you should know that the women are stronger. In fact, that is why I think and I feel that God asked them to submit because they know that they have power. That if this, and it is not your job really as the man to be insisting that the woman must submit. When God was telling the woman to submit, you weren't. It's not in your place to now enforce that submission. Do you understand? The same way, like I said in my last video, it is not the job of the woman to enforce that the man should love her. These were instructions that were given to both of you that you're supposed to run with your own instruction. The instruction that has been given to you as the woman is that you submit. And the one given to the man is you love. Now, many a times we now preoccupy ourselves with trying to enforce the other person to do their own instruction. Why not do your focus on you? Focus on your own instruction. Focus on what you have been given. Focus on your own assignment. So, of course, and men love women that yield, women that has that ability or that capability to submit. But at the same time, I'm not saying, I said, men, do not abuse that submission. Do not take advantage. If God bless you with a woman that submit, don't take advantage of that. And the why for the women is yen. Yen. You see, women desire their husband. Show that you desire her. Show excitement. Let us see the excitement that you want her, that you yearn for her. Be happy to come home. Don't go to work and go forever. Come home. Come home to your wife. Let her know that you desire her. Hug your wife. Hold her, touch her. You know how I said non-sexual touch at the start of this video, and non-sexual touch. Learn to touch your wife. Learn to let her know that you desire, that you yearn for her. Don't turn yourselves into roommates. Both of you should be romantically involved. Yearn for one another. Desire one another. When you go to work, be in a hurry to come back home to your spouse. Be in a hurry to come back home to your wife. You know me, sometimes when I'm at home, sometimes I'll just, if not because we need money, sometimes I don't want my wife to go to work. I just want her to just stay. To just stay out. So I'll be asking, are you going to work today? Really, sometimes what I want to hear in my mind is, I'm not going to work. And sometimes, whenever she cancels, maybe for some reason she cancels her shift, deep in my mind, I'm happy. Even though I know that that is her losing money or for some reason. But me, I'm just excited that this babe is spending time with me. Me, just knowing that my wife is around the house just gives me joy. All right, so we've come to the end of this marital principle. But I want to say to you, please follow me on Eddie's Corner. On this channel, we try to talk about a lot of stuff. We talk about family, we talk about leadership, we talk about migration, but mostly around, just family principles. So I want to just beg you to kindly please subscribe to my channel. And of course, you can watch a lot of my videos that I've done in the past. Like this particular video, I did the part one, and this is the part two. So I already talked about some marital principles from A to M, and this is just from N to Z. So before I talk about the last letter Z, please and please follow me on my YouTube channel or subscribe to my YouTube channel and kindly hit the notification bell so that whenever I drop any video, you will get alerted. All right. All right. So let us talk about the last letter Z. Zest. 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 Don't be lazy. Be full of energy. Be active. Women love men who are active. Hmm? Men who are active. Men who put in effort. Men who have energy. Because your children, they need attention. If you are lazy as a man, marriage becomes heavy. So wake up, get moving. Bring life into your marriage. Zest. Zest. Don't be lazy. Bring some energy. No, there's no energy. Bring some swag. Bring some swag into your relationship. Bring some joy. Bring some energy. Bring life into your marriage. Be the person that will make everything bubbling. Like many times in my home, you see me dance, right? You see me just play music and I just get my kids, we are just dancing. It's my wife that does the recording. Though she may not really want to dance, but she's there, she's also feeling the vibe. She's doing the recording, me and my kids, we are digging it out, we are dancing. Yeah, that is bringing life. Now, does that cost money? No. That doesn't cost money, right? It doesn't. It's just zest that you are happy to be with your family. You're bringing life into everything. Otherwise, marriage becomes heavy, becomes boring, becomes tiring. So bring zest. And Z is for zeal. Zeal. Men also love women who are passionate. Passionate, that you are consumed with love. Don't let the fire die. Don't let the fire die. Bring some love. Bring some love. The zeal will say, I want you. Zeal says, I chose you or I choose you. Zeal will say, I cannot imagine my life without you. Zeal keeps the marriage vibrant. You see, without zeal, marriage becomes routine. Marriage becomes routine. When the zeal is gone out of marriage, everything is routine. So let us love with fire. Let us love with passion, with intensity, love with zeal. This is so important. Zeal, as the woman, come, men love men, women that shows passion. You know that your passion is still alive, that you chose this man. Bring your love alive. All right? Bring it alive. Bring it alive. Bring it alive. Bring it alive. So that is the end of this video, really. But this is over 65 minutes. All right. So that is A to Z, talking about the principles of marriage. I want to encourage you that you can go through this video and you try and pick each of these principles and begin to practice them in your life. From A, where we talk about acceptance, we talked about attention, onto Z, we've talked about zest, and we talked about zeal. We have covered everything. If you go through these two videos, you would learn some practical principles that if you apply them to your life, I'm not saying that you are perfect, but be deliberate. I'm trying not to use intentional. Be deliberate and consciously apply these principles in your life. And you see the quality of your relationship begin to go forward. That you bring in respect, you bring in romance, unity, zeal. When you bring all these things, you begin to see marriage as a gift, not a burden. You begin to see marriage as a gift. Marriage is a blessing. But we need to put in the work. We need to put in the work. We need to bring on the commitment. We need to be committed to this process. Like I said when I started this message, if the way you are committed to your career, you would commit to learning about the principles of marriage, I believe that we will not have so much problem like we have in this time and age. If people will commit to learning, if people will commit to learning and getting better in their relationship with their spouse, things will not be as difficult. But the challenge is we spend time in every other thing except marriage. We spend time to build our career except marriage. I want to challenge you today that you say to yourself that every week or every month, I would learn something new about marriage. You can watch even these videos, this my video, watch it bit by bit. Pick A that say, okay, I want to pay attention to my wife. That they said, women love attention. Let me see how I can pay attention to her. For instance, you can pick romance. That they say romance is good. And they said romance is doing the usual things in a thoughtful way. Okay, I wanted to buy a gift I want to buy a gift for my wife. Let me approach it in a thoughtful manner. Then you just think of something, and just put up a plan that will bring an element of surprise to her. Guys, it's time for us to wake up. That we start to be, let me use the word again, to be intentional about our marriage. But basically, I want us to be committed. Be committed to your marriage. Because when you're committed, it doesn't feel like work anymore. The truth of the matter is, marriage is a blessing. Marriage is a blessing. And trust me, when two people come together, you get more. You get more reward. Even the Bible said one we chase 1,000. Say about two we chase 10,000. That tells you something about collaboration. When two people come together, you cannot. The answer is anything but two. The results, the results, the result is geometrical in nature. It's geometrical in nature. I pray that God will help you, God will guide you. Good night, and God bless you.